Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and today we're going to do a follow-up on the whole Invisalign with MA, and specifically we're going to talk about the inclusion criteria. And the reason why I want to talk about this is that I actually really love this appliance. When they first started out, I had a lot of concerns, and there's a couple funky things that do happen. It doesn't quite go as predicted. You can watch my other MA videos with some tricks and tips, but as long as you kind of know what to expect, it really works well. And I find especially, well, in little kids and older kids, I mean, before, what was my go-to overjet corrector? Well, you could use the Healthy Start G appliance, but that's only worn at night and at home for the most part because it's a one-piece appliance like a bionator, so you're not going to get the 22-hour-a-day compliance that you need to really get good mandibular advancement in a rapid amount of time. So that just wasn't going to happen, especially in older kids. Twin blocks were okay, but again, they look like retainers, and having a metal bar in front of your teeth is just probably not going to fly. It might work in an 8 or 9-year-old, but it's not going to work in a 10 through 15-year-old. They're just not going to work. So, and I don't like doing distalization like the carriere because that's backwards movement, it's not forward movement of the lower jaw. So, just a friendly reminder, elastics don't grow jaws. So when they came out with Invisalign with MA, I found that it was a really great way to harness mandibular growth potential in all different ages of patients. So I've really loved it, seen and done quite a few cases. So one thing you need to keep in mind, and this has happened to a few of my clients, is that your patient may not get accepted to the program. And I like to say, unlike Invisalign or ClearCorrect, I mean, shoot, if you put a patient in, they're going to do something. They're going to let you do something. They're not going to say no. Well, they'll say no to MA. Invisalign will say no to MA because there are certain inclusion criteria. And maybe as the product and the system develops over time, they'll be a little more flexible, letting more cases go through. But a big part of it is retention. And unless you have enough teeth that are erupted, like if you had a lot of teeth extracted due to caries, or if that, you know how little kids will go through a latency period. So around 8 and a half, 9, they're gonna have usually 2 to 2 in, top and bottom. That's the front 4 teeth, top and bottom. 7 through 10, 23 through 26 will be in, around 8 and a half or so. And then they're gonna have a period where nothing's gonna happen for like a year, where they maybe they'll lose C's, and that's okay. But, they're not going to lose their D's and their E's. Everything's just going to be the way it is. There's not going to be a lot of changes. That is the time when you need to do your Invisalign First with MA. There's a very small window, a defined window. Once they start losing more teeth in the back and they're rapidly losing teeth, there's going to be about a year and a half where there's 12 teeth that are going to come out. And it's going to be like every month the tooth's going to come out. That you will not get accepted if you're in that window. So you have to time it right. And here's the difficult part is sure you can say, oh, I'll just wait till they lose all those teeth. Well, here's the problem. After they lose all those teeth and their chronological age may not line up with their skeletal age, may not line up with their dental age. So if you don't understand the difference between those 3 different ages and how that affects your outcome in orthodontics, you need to understand that. That's like basic fundamental. Go back because I made a video about that. I parked it in my Interceptive Ortho playlist, which is on my homepage, Straightsmile Solutions. Or you can go, this is how you do this. Go to your YouTube site. Go up to the top where the search bar is. Put in Straightsmile Solutions. It'll take you to my YouTube site. Once you're in my YouTube site, which has a green banner, there are 10 to 12 playlists on the homepage. Scroll down till you find the one that says Interceptive, Ortho, Airway, EMT Habits. It's all that stuff is looped into one. And that video is in there. It's called like skeletal age, chronological age, and dental age, 3 different ages. If you can't find it within the playlist, you can also search as a magnifying glass towards the top right corner on any YouTube site, but you need to look within my YouTube site and put in skeletal age, and it should pop that video up. Definitely watch that first if you don't understand that concept before you listen to the rest of this video. Okay, so yeah, sure, you could wait until all the teeth are lost and more teeth come in, but if this is a girl, there's a decent chance this patient at 11 and a half may be done growing. A decent enough chance. Maybe, maybe not. If they're done growing, guess what? MA not going to work. So yeah, Invisalign might accept it, but it's not going to work. So that is why it's critically important to time your MA at the right time. And this is something where really Invisalign Align technology has greatly dropped the ball. Like dropped the ball massively because they have educated a little bit about MA, but I mean, orthodontists know this stuff. But now that you're letting general and pediatric dentists use MA, they don't know this stuff. And I work with them all the time. And it's like, well, Invisalign said I could do it. Well, yeah, well, it's not going to work because your patient finished puberty 2 years ago. So sorry, it's not going to work. So what are your other options? Jaw surgery. Or you can take out 8s and do sequential distalization, but the profile is going to look terrible and you're going to compromise the airway. You dropped the ball, doctor. You dropped the ball. Not Align Technology. That's not their responsibility to know when your patient has their skeletal maturity. They don't even get into that. They just move teeth. It's a feature. It's a tool. You need to know how to use it. So anyways, this is the inclusion criteria. You have to fall within their windows. And remember, in most countries, but not all, Invisalign with MA is available in the Invisalign First module, which is one feature, which again, that has its own separate list of criteria. It's an 18-month program. It's generally a cheaper lab fee. It's about 40% cheaper than the comprehensive lab fee, but it's only 18 months. And it's only for those kids in the 2-2 stage that I was telling you about before. You can just do aligning. You can do a little bit of arch, but not skeletal expansion. You can close spaces, and you can do MA. And MA is the most useful feature. I highly recommend it. And remember, if you do Invisalign First, you can do Invisalign Second later, which will have a decreased price. And you can read the TOS. It's in there if you want to search it. They don't quite say what it is because I think there's not a lot of patients that are there yet. You get a 10-year window after you finish Invisalign First to do your Invisalign Second. There is a reduced lab fee from the Invisalign Comprehensive. So A plus B doesn't equal C. But listen, there's a couple workarounds, and I'll get to that in a few minutes. But anyways, let's talk about the inclusion criteria because your patient may get rejected from the program because they lost too many teeth. So I'm just going to read it. I know you guys know how to read, but just in case you're in the car. The teeth under and adjacent to the precision wings, okay? So these are the precision wings right here. So basically, it's just an aligner with these little wings molded to it, okay? So it's just an aligner with a bubble in the back. The bubble in the back on top is going to be more towards the back, towards the 6s and E's. The aligner, the bubble on the bottom is going to be more around the premolars, so a little more anterior. Okay, so the teeth under and adjacent to the precision wings, these teeth and these teeth, must be present and stable throughout the phase of treatment. That means if they've lost some E's or D's, they will not be accepted to the program. So you'll either have to do it before they lose those teeth, or you'll have to do it after the permanent teeth come in, and you could do it in Invisalign Comprehensive. The problem with that is your patient might be done growing, and then this is not going to work. C's, D's, and E's, or 4s and 5s should be stable, i.e. not expected to exfoliate or to be erupting during the MA phase because they cannot do those eruptive guidance, pontics, or anything that they do, that EPs, EAs, whatever we're calling them with Invisalign, okay? Eruption compensation is not available for premolars during the primary MA phase of treatment. Please note that EC eruptive compensation for premolars is only available in secondary orders, including additional aligner orders. Oh, okay. So I guess if you start this and then you have to do a refinement, then they can do the EC eruptive compensation for premolars. Okay. That's fine. Invisalign First clear aligners patient inclusion criteria also applies. The use of Invisalign First clear aligners requires that patients have erupted first molars, so you have to have your 6s in, and at least, I see. This is for Invisalign First. This is written very awkwardly. You have to have at least 2 incisors in, at least 2/3 erupted. You have to have at least 2 primary C, D's, or E's, and also unerupted permanent teeth per quadrant in at least 3 quadrants. So yeah, if you're missing multiple teeth, you will be rejected from the program. Anyways, just things to keep in mind, because I guess what I didn't realize, I thought, if you have them at the scan, they'll accept you, that they can reject you if they notice in the x-ray or whatever that it looks like they're about to exfoliate. So I think the moral of the story is you don't want to promise your patient and take the money up front, say, you're going to be getting Invisalign First with MA, or you're going to be getting Invisalign with MA, because they might get rejected from the program, and that changes your entire treatment plan. And unless you're prepared and the patient is prepared to do bionators, twin blocks, or something else, well, then you're going to have to refund the money. So, and you're going to look like a fool. And this has happened to my doctors before. They're like, great MA case. Yeah, in theory, it is a great MA case, but guess what? You're not accepted to the program. So I usually like to say, if you're thinking about MA, just to tell them, look, it's kind of a relatively new program for Invisalign. They're very selective what cases can be accepted. I think you have a good chance of being accepted. Let's just take your scan and see if you're accepted. If you're accepted, then we'll work up the treatment plan from them. I'm not going to open your contract or take any of your money till I know that you're accepted. Boom. That's exactly what I would do. So contrary than what you would do with a regular Invisalign case. And that's just something where I think Align technology has failed a little bit in the education, especially of the GPs and the pediatric dentists. Of course, I'm happy to do that. I'll keep making more videos as I learn more about the product. I've taken all their webinars and stuff. It's just really devoid of knowledge. So I'm learning as I go too. I understand the concept 100% how it works. It's just the nuances of the whole Invisalign software is a little bit different. So anyways, hopefully this was helpful and I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.